Before we begin, let me put all of this in its own folder called backend, and I'm going to move everything from there to there into that folder. Go ahead, so now that's there. Now we're going to create a new folder called frontend, which will let the Vue CLI do for us. So let me pause the video and I'll get back to you. At this point, we're going to say manually select features because I want to introduce the router. So I'm going to press spacebar for that and press enter. And again, I'll pause the video. Oh, we want 2x. Use history, yes. Pickle enter, we'll just go for this one. And let's fix on, let's on save. And package.json. No. So now that that's finished, I'm going to cd into the front end and say yarn serve, and the page will look slightly different from what you would expect when you first create from Vue CLI. Okay, so now we're at the point where you can see the page, localhost 8080. So it looks kind of the same as before, but notice there's something here. There's the navigation. So if I click on About, it goes to the /about, where you have a totally different page. If I click on Home, it goes back to the / or the root, which takes us back here. So that's different, right? We didn't have that before. And so what's happening here, if we look at the code, under App View, this is new. So we have a router link to the root and another router link component to the about. And so how does Vue know where this takes us? It has a folder here called router, and under index.js, it has basically a dictionary. So if the user goes to the root, it'll go to the component home. If it goes to the about, then it goes to this component over here. And here's each component. So here's the home view, which kind of looks familiar as before. And then here is the about view, which is just this. So that's kind of neat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the about view to display the chart, the bar chart. All right. So what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to go to Google, and instead of going directly to chart.js, which takes me to their homepage, I'm going to Google Vue chart.js, which takes me to this. So someone has taken the time to take the original chart.js and make it like a plugin for Vue. So to get started, you basically say yarn add Vue chart.js chart.js. So let's do that here. Let's Control-C out of that. Let's paste in what I copied, and let's do its thing. So now that's done. I'm going back to the page, and I'm going to scroll down until I get the single file component example. And I think there was a really good example down here. So here is a line chart. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste that, except I don't want a line chart, I want a bar chart. So I'll change it eventually. And now that's just a simple JS file. So I'm going to, let's see, there's no folder here for a JS. So I'm just going to create my own folder, call it JS. And I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to call that bar chart.js. I'm going to paste it there. All right. And then here, this random chart, this will be everything in here. I'm going to put that in the about.vue page right here. Paste that in. There. So let's see what happens if we run this. Curious to see if this works. Oh, I have one error here. It could not find line chart.js because it expected it to be in the current directory, but then again I moved it to my JS folder, didn't I? So I gotta say JS. Let's see if it likes that. Or maybe I'll just do this. Oh, right, because I called it bar chart. Silly me. Bar. Save that. Let's see if it likes that. Okay, what's happening? Is it the path? No. Wait a minute, where are we? Where is this coming from? Oh, I have to get out of here because I'm within views. So I have to get out of here, up one directory, down one directory. There we go. Oh my gosh. What's happening here? On second thought, these are all just warnings which are coming from Prettier. So I wouldn't worry about it. If it's just warnings, then it should be okay still. So localhost 8080, here we go. Let's go to localhost 8080. Let's go to the About page. Beautiful. So we have some kind of cool, weird looking graph. Now, we don't want that kind of graph. We wanted a bar chart kind of graph, and the component was bar chart. What else did we want to change? Let's see what's happening here. Oh, failed to compile about view. Bar chart wanted already but not used. Oh, we haven't even used the bar chart up top. Here, this line chart has to be bar. Let's try it now. Okay, cool. That's not what I expected. I expected a bar chart. And I think, you know what, I'm going to go back to the original chart.js web page and grab a regular, right, creating a, oh, you know what, I should have started with this. Okay, so what does it want? It wants an object where the first thing it sees is labels. Aha, so this object where the first thing it sees is labels. So I'm going to copy this and just wipe out whatever was in here. Gone. Paste. Let's see if it likes that. Okay, much better. Then that's a line chart. So we don't want the line chart, we want and we want 4. We don't want 6. So let's say A, B, C, D. Let's get rid of a couple of these. Let's get rid of a couple of these. Get rid of a couple of these. Save that. What does it look like now? Oh, missing a quotation mark. Save that. Good. Now how come it's still a line graph? Did I not? Bar chart.js. Oh, right here. We don't want import line. We want import bar, extends bar, and I think that should be okay. Perfect. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to, right now the data is static, but we're going to make that dynamic based on our previous node random JSON that we get. So what should we do? Maybe let us, in this mount it has this .fill data. What if we change this to something like, first of all, we need like a method called getRandomVote. So maybe this getRandomInt here should be changed to fetch our node stuff. So let's get rid of this. Let's call it getRandomVotes. All right, and this will be using fetch. So async await, and so const. We'll say URL equals, and what's our URL? It's localhost 8000. That's where our node was spitting out the JSON, right? Then we do the regular stuff that we know and love. Now that we have the data, maybe we'll put that data in something called votes. So let's put this variable votes somewhere in our data up top here, which will be like an empty array kind of thing. All right, now what? Maybe to hook up this data with our actual this.votes, what if we said for this one it'll be this.votes.a, and similarly for the other ones it'll be, this one will be .b, c, d. Okay, and then the thing we need to do now is maybe in our mounted, forget this fill data. Maybe we'll call this fill data, like, what should we call that? We'll call it within our mounted somewhere else. So first we got to get our this.getRandomVotes, right? However, because that's async await, we have to say await within there. And then once we get the votes from our node, we can say this.fillData, which is responsible for displaying, for running this bar graph and displaying it. So now let's see if we can also, actually we'll just do this now and see what happens. Oh, we got some, oh yeah, we need async for that mounted there. Okay, all right, let's see, 8080. Oh right, because we have not. Okay, so here's the how to hook up the front end and the back end. So right now we have the front end running. I'm going to click on this split terminal, and here I'm going to go into my back end, and I'm going to node app.js, right, to run that. So now it's running on port 8000. So now if I refresh, there you go. The numbers are coming out. Let's make this change every 2 seconds. So let's make this fetch every 2 seconds a new set of random stuff. So maybe we'll set a setInterval, and within there we'll run a function every 2 seconds. And then we'll move all of this stuff inside there. Uh-oh, what does this say? Syntax error. Await is only allowed within the async functions, but I said, oh wait, async has to be in here now, because forget this. There we go. All right, let's see if it likes that. There we go. Looks like it's working, and every 2 seconds it changes. So it's every 2 seconds it's fetching from the node. So that's basically how to connect the front end with the back end. Just to review, we have a back end that's running on port 8000. We have a front end that's fetching from port 8000 as well. And so that's basically how you do it. And also, if you say yarn build to create your dist folder here, that essentially, and if you run a local server on the dist folder index.html, it'll essentially do the same thing as this. But that is basically how to connect the back end to the front end.